Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 7th of April 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we bring you the 5 news items that happened today that you need to know about. Let's jump into it. Story number 1, the ASX edged lower today, closing 0.6% down to finish at 7,442 points. Investors were very busy selling the tech sector, but the mining and metals, household goods, energy and financial sectors also dropped, while the property and consumer staples groups closed slightly up. Paladin, GrainCorp and Viva Energy all did well, while AGL Energy shrugged off comments by the Federal Energy Minister that was going to make it harder to close down coal-fired gas plants, and that company, AGL, finished around 2.5% up. Today's worst performer was WiseTech Global. It was down more than 6%. It's been a pretty bad week for that company. Close behind was Life360 and Novonix, while Liontown Resources and punting group PointsBet both recorded 5% falls. All 4 major banks dropped today, while among the miners, BHP and Rio Tinto both fell slightly, while Newcrest and Fortescue did a bit better. Telstra ended 1.3% higher and CSL finished 0.4% down. The Aussie dollar is currently trading at just under 75 US cents. That's down more than a cent over the past 24 hours. Story number 2, the Prime Minister Scott Morrison hasn't shot the starter's gun in terms of the election yet, but will in the next couple of days, it seems. He was on the New South Wales Central Coast yesterday after a shellacking from a pensioner in a Newcastle pub the night before. The Prime Minister confirmed that future nuclear-powered submarines will be built in South Australia after reports suggested otherwise, and he backflipped on a decision not to participate in a buyback of flood-affected housing in Queensland. The feds will pay half of the $771 million bill to buy back that property. The government also updated the National Research Infrastructure Roadmap yesterday, putting $900 million on the table over the next 5 years to cover research into defence, space, quantum technology and medical products. Story number 3, finally some good news for Magellan shareholders. Magellan's share price crashed over the summer after it lost its largest institutional mandate from a British wealth manager called St James Place. It was worth around $23 billion, or 12% of Magellan's yearly revenue. In the wake of that, the firm's co-founder Hamish Douglass resigned. Last financial year, Magellan had around $114 billion under management. A month ago, that was down to about $70 billion. Magellan's share price was trading around $50 last June, but since January, it's traded under $20. The good news is that investors aren't pulling out as much money as they first were. In February, $5 billion walked out the door, but in March, only 10%. As a result, its share price jumped 10% today. Story number 4. Westpac has joined the throng and is now predicting the first hike in the official cash rate will occur in June. That seems to be the consensus view among economists now. There's actually a bit of economics around today. Australia's international trade balance fell by more than $4 billion last month to its lowest level in a year. That's according to the Bureau of Statistics. But still, it remains pretty healthy, with a balance at $7.5 billion last month. While exports were broadly unchanged, imports of industrial supplies and fuel surged. Also, the ABS said payroll jobs fell just a touch in the month to mid-March. That's reflective of the floods in Queensland and New South Wales. And finally, story number 5 is all about Uber. The rideshare group is going to trial booking long-distance travel on planes, trains and buses in the United Kingdom. They're going to build in travel offers from potential partners like Expedia into their app. If the UK trial goes well, we could see it rolled out here. That's it for the afternoon report for the 7th of April 2022. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the Friday Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.